here we are. Wednesday, we've made it halfway through the week. It looks like everything is connected, so give me some hellos and shout outs. If you can hear me, you'll be able to see me shortly as soon as I can make sure that all of the streams are running. Just let me know. Facebook, as always, lags a little bit behind YouTube, so I can see all of you guys there on YouTube, but I need to make sure that the Facebook stream is working. So somebody, when you hear me, go ahead and comment. Yes, great. I see a comment over there and I've got that up. So we are good to go. Alrighty, well, good morning, everyone. Funny there. There we go. I know we're all waiting for haircuts, right? What do we want the most in quarantine? We want to, I don't know. Mine is a haircut, but we'll get there. Maybe, I don't mind it growing out. We're good. We're all right. I hope you're all right there. We're doing great here on the old midweek broadcast here at beadshop.com. Today we are going to look at a clasp on our macrame extravaganza. Peyote plus macrame equals, I don't know what, pretty bracelet, I guess, or whatever. But I think it's coming along pretty well. I'm looking at it right now as we speak. But looks great. Here we all are. It looks like everybody is checking in and doing okay, which is good. We're doing okay here as well. Busy, keeping busy. Chris is bustling around. I can hear him in there filling orders already. I filled a little bit this morning, so we're getting them out slowly but surely. But I really appreciate everybody's, as always, your patience with us during this time. California is going to be under quarantine until the end of May. So we are continuing that social distancing, all of these safe practices. So, whenever we get out of this, things hopefully will turn towards a semblance of normal, not super normal, but some sort of normal. But we're going to shelter it. We've got another month here in California, and I urge you guys all to, keep doing what you're doing. Stay safe, stay quarantined, wear those gloves, those masks. But yeah, I'm ready. I have a couple of friends who have actually cut their own hair with just cut it off. They're ready. So I'm ready. I am also kind of ready to do that. So you never know. If I show up one morning with a total flat top, you'll know that I, went back to high school to cut it off short. Though I do call this haircut the summer of '83 because this was pretty much what my hair looked like the whole summer of 1983. Maybe I'll pull out a photo sometime so you can see it. Summer before my senior year. Anyway, so it's good. I can see everybody's jumped on to see the project. So let's get going. I need a little more coffee this morning. We've been running around here at the office, so this is always my calm moment, right? It's I have a moment to sit down and bead and check in with everyone. So let's take a deep cleansing breath and let's get going. All right. Okay. Oh, and I see my friend Christine has jumped on. I asked Christine, she was my partner over at Bedissimo when we had our bead store in San Francisco, and I told Christine when this quarantine is over and she comes up to visit, because as I said in a broadcast before, she's over at the Natural History Museum in San Diego. But when she comes up to visit, we'll have to get her on a broadcast, and it'll be all we'll do is laugh, and I don't know even what we'll talk about, but we probably won't even get to bead, but we'll see. But it'll be fun when this quarantine is over. That should be like one of those, you know how in World War II, I don't know, Gran would always sing those songs, those World War II songs about when this, you know, when the war is over or whatever. We should have some new quarantine songs, right? When this quarantine is over. But and I won't sing for you because I can't carry a tune in a paper bag. But let's get this show on the road, shall we? Now that everyone's ready, get the chit chat going on. Yeah, you know, we do. You know, I see some chit chat about wearing gloves over in the thing. I do wear gloves, but I change my gloves all the time. So I kind of, you know, I don't know, I bring like 5 pairs of gloves with me when I go out, so I know that when I have to change them, I do. But Christine, beginner level. Come on, Chris. You are an old hand at all of this. We should bust out a couple of our signature Bellissimo projects, which would be fun. Alrighty, so let's take a look at what we've got here, and let's take a look. Let's move from quarantine chat to bead chat, which I think is much more fun. I got this section done. Okay, this is about 4 inches, and I just stopped here, right? I was trying to get more done on this, but you know, I only have a certain number of hours during the day, so I never get quite as far as I think I'm going to get with these things, right? So let's take a look and see how this is going to fit. So it's all equal. I've done 6. There are the rows here, so that means I think there's 12 rows because with the shadows gone every other row. So that's 2, 4, and 6, 2, 4, and 6. Okay, so there we are there. Alrighty. Oh, thanks. Pat saying you weren't here yesterday, but you're seeing this for the first time today and you like it, which is great. I'm glad you do. We're going to see how this evolves today. I have a vague idea about what I'm going to do, but let's see if it's any good. Okay, so here's the bracelet. Here we are. All right. And you can see I've got some room in the back for the clasp. Now, the clasp that I'm thinking of doing, because when a piece, to me anyway, like this is kind of a hand wrought piece, I feel like I want to make a clasp that, you know, make a clasp rather than using a ready-made, though you could use a ready-made. So I went back to our old friend, the gypsy leather bracelet. This is a redo of one that I did, and I feel like this kind of has the same air to it a little bit. Now what we could also do is we could bring all of these into a single bead like this and macrame down too. We could do that and do a traditional kind of a Bollywood closure, you know, that slider knot for it. We could do that, which would look good. We could just do that simple flat macrame. We could move to flat macrame, which would be here, here, and here. We could do that into a 3-strand. But I think closing it off too with leather might be good too. I was really into doing this with the leather. I really liked it. So I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I know that this is 4 inches long, and this bracelet, I made it to fit me, I need to get this is a little long. Let me measure this one. So I was really married to Ultra Suede. I need to get it to about, I think about 7 inches, maybe even 6.5, because I can make, or 6 3/4. Okay. Like so. So let me, can you tell I'm so not prepared for this at all? But that's okay. Let me see. I'm going to put these guys, I'm going to pin this back down. And I'm going to take, I'm just going to look. All right. Minnesota likes the leather ends. Would love to see it again. Yeah, I like the leather ends too. I think what I need is just some plain macrame here, right? To maybe taper it down just a little. So I think that's what I want to do. So let me just do some of, let me get these down because I don't have a lot of cords left for the macrame portion. So, but the cool thing about those leather ends, you guys, is that you can kind of make them a little bit bigger so they will help you kind of elongate your piece. So let me just do some of that plain macrame without the shadows to taper it down, maybe just a few. And you remember how we did this yesterday, right? Where we came in and we did it from the right and then to the, or rather from the left and then to the right, like so, and then to the center. And I think it was this side that I need to go to. Now I'm getting dangerously short on this piece of Chinese knotting cord right here. See that? Now I've done this once live on the air, and I think I'm going to do it again because I need more thread here. Okay, so let me take that out of the way. That's not going to work. So let me show you. It's where I connect a new piece of knotting cord by cinching it together. Okay, so I've done it before. I haven't done it in a while. But let me see if I can do it, right? Because I've got this like long stiff needle end, which is good, right? But I need some more thread here. So I'm gonna clip this off. Now Chinese knotting cord is nylon, right? And so it should melt together. So I'm going to heat my thread burner and I'm going to heat both ends here, and I'm going to come in, and as both of those sides are melting, I'm going to push them together. It's a little bit off. I think it's a pretty good join, but I'm going to join it. I'm going to try it one more time. Right, so I'm singeing these two cords together, and hopefully that singe, do you see what I did there? Hopefully that and it's, whoops, there we go. I always need to test it. So let me try it again. Let me get myself a really blunt end. I'm not afraid. If the first time we don't succeed, we're going to try again. We're going to put the thread burner right in between. Singe them both. So that they connect. There we go. That looks pretty cool, I think. Let's see. No, and I could switch them out. I could switch these center ones out, and I could put this one in the middle and pull my center ones. But I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I can't make it lie correctly. You probably can make it lie a little bit better than I can on that. So now this is there. This isn't going anywhere. Okay? So so there you go. Okay? And so now, so I've done that one. So now I go back to the left. Let's go here. And let's go here. And let's tie that one. And let's tie this one. And let's see where that singe ends up. Okay, there we go. And let's do this side now. Was everybody holding your breath when I did that? I was too, I'll be super honest. I was like, wait a minute. What am I thinking about doing here on this? There we go. And now let's do the center. You know, when I tied the center though, see, there's a mistake there. Sorry, I do need more coffee this morning. I was thinking too far ahead, so let me just pull that out. That's all right. If anything is worth doing, I want to do it correctly. Okay, I only tied one. I didn't tie a full square knot, so I think it needs to go on this end. No, backwards. Backwards. Richburg. Try it again. There we go. There we are. That looks right. Right? Good. Okay, that's better. It's better, I think, it's better to take it out, fix it. Doesn't take but a moment in the life of this macrame project. Plus, I think at the end, this end without the shadows will be a little more pliable. It might be easier, like on the back of the wrist. It might feel a little more comfortable. Did I do that the right way? This is what happens a lot when I design on the fly, is that my brain starts to go really fast and it can't keep up with my hands. So, let's see, I did that one again the wrong way. This side. There we go. And tighten. And that's where that singe is. See, and you can't even see it. Ta-da! This is a 0.8 millimeter Chinese knotting cord that I'm using. And we chatted about it yesterday, right? About the closure, about which one to use. And I had done, if you watch yesterday's broadcast, you can see how I had started it with the 0.5 millimeter. And it was a little small, that 0.5. It was a little thin. So I decided to switch it out for the 8, and I think the 8 looks better. Looks a little more full. Now I'm running out of cord on this one. But I want to measure to see if I don't have to add another singed cord. So see how that's tapered down a little bit like that? There we go. Okay, so let me measure. Let me bring this a little bit wider. I think I fixed it. See, these are both going the same way, but that's all right. It's close anyway. So this is 2 inches. So, yep, I'm going to switch this around and do the other side. So let's switch. And you can see that again. I have a lot of cord on this side, so I don't think I have to singe anything down. All right, so I'm going to move it. But you know, you decide what works for you, okay? What you like on this one. I'm going to put these, see how I put these center ones into the macrame board? That holds them nice and tight. So I can macrame with ease. As you heard me yesterday, this is definitely inspired by Brittany's Bollywood, because this, oh, I didn't finish. Why does this look funny? I didn't finish that knot on this side as well before I did this center. Take that out. This is definitely inspired by Brittany's Bollywood project. And it's that same square flat knot, but we're just doing it across. There we go. That looks right. We're just doing it across with multiple strands instead of single strands. There we go. Oh, for crying out loud. I was right the first time. Right? There we go. There we are. That's correct. Let me get a little tighter so you guys can see it. All right, so now, how many did I make? 1, 2, 3. I think I made 3 total. So let's start in, get that back into frame, and do these 3. And then we'll measure again. The continuing saga of this macrame bracelet, but you know, there's a lot of, like I was saying earlier, there's a lot of different ways you can close it. You could taper this down all the way and use a magnetic clasp as well, which would look great. That would be fast and easy. But do I ever take the fast and easy route out? No. I think this is the side that I want. But I love the way the leather, especially, I think it kind of resonates with this. We have, so the ultra suede that we carry a bunch of different colors. We have a lot in stock right now, though some were missing, but Janice is ordering those, so you'll see those back in soon. Just put yourself, if there's a color that you love that we're out of, just put yourself on the notification list, and you'll get a notification as soon as that leather makes its reappearance. Or if you have a piece of scrap leather at home, you can certainly kind of play around with that and use that. Gosh, I keep tying this knot wrong, don't I? I don't know why I can't get in the rhythm of getting this center knot going back and forth, but I just can't. I just cannot. There we go. But I'm getting good at untying these knots, right? There we go on this side, and this side, and up, and this side, and this side. And up. Now, someone mentioned earlier that they'd like to see that blue reincorporated into the piece somewhere down here, and I kind of agree with that. I'd like to repeat and pull that blue down in here somewhere. I'm just not quite sure where I'm going to do it yet. Okay. Leslie's saying, Kate, no pressure. Okay, totally no pressure. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, Book of Kells would look great on here. We could just continue to kind of pull it in to taper that in. So so this is about 5 1/4 inches or so. So let me take it out. And someone's asking what size is of the ultra suede. Oh, thanks, Janice, you got it. The ultra suede dimensions, it's 4 1/4 by 8 1/2 inches, and it comes in a tube. It's really nice. We've used it a lot on different beading projects. I like it a lot. Let me get these pins out of here. Bam. Brittany's here. Yay. Good. Okay, this looks like it's about right for the closure. Okay, so this is where I'm going to stop and start to think about the ultra suede closure. Okay. What's the pink? Let me go over what the seed beads are again in this, just so you have it. The seed bead, it's the 4243. I think it's the silver lined dark something. I can't remember the actual name of it, but the number, if you type in 4243 on the website, it'll come up. This is everybody's favorite seafoam green matte right here. And then the O beads are the crystal slipperet. These guys here. That's what these are. Okay. And if you go to the website, not the website, sorry, the blog, you will see where Drea is updating the blog with this adventure. Okay, so now I'm going to figure out how I'm going to measure the leather. Okay, so I've got some different colors in front of me. I've got this Bordeaux, which I like. Is this the same length before I go? Yeah, it is the same. One side looked a little longer than the other. And I want to make it kind of simple, right? I don't want it to be too... Duracoat Silverline Topaz Gold. Thank you, JP. I think bringing in this kind of purpley color pulls in those crystal slipperet beads kind of nicely. Let me see though if I want to bring in... Brittany, I wish you were here so you could tell me you could tell me what to do with closing this macrame thing. Those don't really fit. Maybe these might though. I feel like this is a little what do I want to say? Unfinished, to just glue the leather on there, right? It feels a little meh. So I feel like I need a line of something that will kind of give me a place to glue the leather up to. So let me see what this looks like. I don't know, it might be wrong. I don't know. Can you guys see that? Let me get in tighter. You can't see, it's not close enough. There we go. So I'm putting the shadows, because the shadows have a pretty big hole. I'm putting the shadows across the ends. Here. Yeah, this is definitely the auditioning stage. Right here. Yeah. I think this is auditioning pretty well, actually. Because I'll show you. Again, my mind is moving forward before my hands can catch up, so bear with me here just a moment. Hold, please. That's what my friend Francesca always says when she's doing her videos. Hold, please. So there's that one. Because the clasp, always, the closure, always, you guys, has to look exactly right, I think. Janice is saying it could end with an evolve crimp. Yeah, I could shove all of these into an evolve, I guess. I don't know. I feel like the evolve crimp still isn't wide enough. It would taper too fast, I feel like. I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't. Whoops. None of these ends have zap on them, so it's going to be a little bit of a challenge to get both of these through. Let me angle cut it. Push that shadow up. You can see why zap, there it goes. You can see why zap is so handy for that. Okay, so there are those. All right, so there are those. Janice said she'd like a magnet. I'm gonna grab, well, you could also use something like this is a little wide for it, but we could use something like the Clio clasp. I'm gonna go slowly and deliberately and turn this around and string on the other ones. Because it'll come. Everybody's giving me so many ideas, which I love all of them. Okay. Let's put those other shadows on there. I don't know. Sometimes you just have to go where the piece takes you. Is everyone on pins and needles? I am too. Horizontal half hitch the outer cords to the center Oh, yeah, of course you would, Britt. The horizontal half hitch. That would look amazing, but my horizontal half hitches aren't as good as yours, I don't think. I should practice a little bit more. But that would be good, and you can close it kind of like what Brittany did on the her kind of epic macrame bracelet that she did, that first one when we did that fun kit. That would be a nice closure on this too. But Britt, I wish you were sitting like right here next to me so I could just hand this right over to you. But I'm not gonna shirk. Hey Chris. I thought he was right outside the door. But he's not. He's filling. Plus he has music on so he can't hear me. So we're just gonna go with what we've got. There we go. That one. And this one. Okay. This one now. And this one. Okay. So I'm going to do just a little mock-up here. Okay, so that doesn't look too bad. Those look good there. Those look good here. Let me pull this out a little bit. That also bought me a little bit of length. Let me measure. Yeah, with the closure, if I make the closures. And with the loop. That might work. Okay. So, let me get, I'm gonna get a piece of paper first. Before I do anything else, I wanna make myself a little pattern to figure out how I'm gonna close this. I'm not gonna use my thread scissors that I brought. I'm gonna use kind of these janky scissors. Yeah, I feel like the magnetic clasps aren't quite wide enough for this, right? So if I'm gonna do this, it looks like if I cut on that line, I do a lot of my mock-ups in paper. What's that called? A maquette? Maquette? Right? When you're doing your kind of your mock-up here. Let me get in the thing. There's Emily. I see Emily watching. Fold it over. So that would be my tab there. Just for, I'm just seeing. I don't know. Let me cut this one the same length. And then we can shorten them if I need to. These scissors have ink all over them. Perfect. Let me put that over there so it doesn't get anywhere else on me. So I'm going to fold these in half. Yeah, I could definitely loom the ends. I mean, there's so many things that we could do with these. Let me wipe these scissors off here. And I hope to see so many of these suggestions incorporated into your piece. So let me see if I made these little ends, this end here, and this end here, Let me cut it straight across. Okay, what that length will give me. Okay. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the courage of my convictions, you guys. I'm just going to go for it. I've got a couple of different colors of the leather in front of me. I've got this moccasin, which is okay, but I also have, I like this purple a lot, and it's going to pull this in, right? And just you hold your horses about the turquoise, because I've got an idea about that too. So let me cut these ends. Let me measure what this is. Okay. It's about 5/8, but I'm going to move it over to 3/4 of an inch. Okay. So if it's 3/4 of an inch, we do carry the Ultra Suede in Montauk. It's a pretty blue color. It's kind of a sea green color, which would look nice. But I've got this open, so that's what I'm going to do. I've got my little Omnigrade ruler, which from quilting, it's 1 inch across. This is going to help me cut, or at least mark, a 3/4 inch strip pretty nicely. Can you see that there? If you guys, this comes from the quilting world, and so it's easy to see. You can see these yellow lines. That's 1, that's 1/2, that's 3/4. So I can come in, I can get my pencil, and I'm just gonna I'm gonna make a little mark with my pencil. Now, if I were at home or in the other room with my rotary cutter, that didn't mark too well. I guess I'll use a pen, because this can always go towards the inside. I would rotary cut this so it's perfectly straight. I've been doing a lot of rotary cutting lately with my mask making. Now, I didn't measure the length of this. This is just shy, I'm going to call it 1.5 inches, but it's actually just a little longer, just a hair. Okay, because remember, we've also got the thickness of that Ultra Suede as well. So I know you cannot see this line because it's so dark. Okay, so can you see where I put that line? You can see all the ink on my hands that I don't want to get on this Ultra Suede. But I'm working on the inside of the Ultra Suede anyway. Okay, so I'm going to use my good thread scissors, and I'm going to come in, and I'm going to very carefully, my good fabric scissors, I'm going to very carefully cut that strip. Okay. All right. Now, is everybody still holding their breath? Yeah, there we go. See how nice, whoops, nope, you can't at all. See that? See that there? That looks pretty good. So I'm going to cut my little ends. I'm just going to use this as my pattern, but it needs to be straight. Still not straight. But I'm going to come across, and this is how I'm going to make that straight across cut with a ruler like this, is I'm going to come in, I'll just lay my little piece of paper down, and I'm going to line up my mark there, and see how it's lined up on both sides so I know it looks straight. There we go, I've made that mark. I wish I had a lighter pen to do it so you guys could see it. But here's this. And I'm going to cut this straight across. And I'll just line these up. And cut it straight across. My good fabric scissors here. There we go. Okay, so here are my ends. All right. Whew. So another bracing drink of coffee. So now with something like this, you always want to do the button end first. Okay. So I'm going to close this over, and I pulled some buttons because I had no idea what would look right. I've got the, I think this is courtesan, I think this is pirouette, the crossed arrows, and the concho. I think that some of those are just too big, right? Like that. I mean, it's a cool button, but it's too gigantic. I think this small, this courtesan or the pirouette is the right one for it. I think because it's small, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch this button in before I glue everything down. Okay, so I'm going to give myself, I'm going to clamp this closed on the closed end here. And I'm going to stitch that button just using my sharps needle and some Hana thread. Okay. And so we do this button loop, like Janice is saying, we do this button loop first so we can calculate what we're going to do on the other side for the loop. And I'm just going to thread or needle my thread. When I sew on a button, sorry, I've got ink all over my hands from that. From those scissors. I make a nice triple overhand loop, see that? Tighten it up so it gives me a nice fat knot. Then I'll trim away the excess. And I think I'm just going to go kind of right to the center or close-ish to the center. Bring that up. My thread's doubled here, so it's going to make it go faster. And stitch this button on. Oops, let me get in the frame so you guys can see it. Once I know where I'm stitching it, I'm going to unclamp it so it'll be a little bit easier for me to handle. And there should be kind of hopefully a little crease, a little memory there. Okay. But we're going to stitch this on. And this is a good closure for a loomed piece as well, right? It would look really nice. Saga, I think that's a great name, Lynn. It's true. Because I think I know what I'm gonna, where I'm gonna incorporate that turquoise. So you guys just have to bear with me. We're going to have to take one more day of this, and then we'll do we'll end the week with the knot that's going to start lariat week for next week. So I'm just stitching this on nice and tightly. There we go. So now I'm gonna, whoops, you're not supposed to have a knot or a snarl in there. Let's get that out. Everything was going so perfectly until the thread knotted. There we go. Now let me just come in, take a stitch underneath, somewhere underneath my threads. There we go. And go through that loop a couple of times. Once, twice, maybe 3 times. And this is all going to be glued down, so I don't need to worry too much about this coming loose. Okay. And I'll just clip it. Okay. So here's this side. So that's ready to go. So I'm actually going to go ahead and glue this side. Okay. My mom is asking, do I need a drop of Zap to keep these shadows in place? I don't think so. Because I'll show you, just bear with me here, the way I glue this. Okay. Because I don't want the ending, the scary thing is when you're using glue, the scary thing is that you don't want to use too much glue and make it too stiff. Okay, so if I zap these guys here at the end, it's going to be too stiff. All right, there's some stiffness there. All right, so just bear with me here. We're going to come in. I'm going to get my plastic baggie under this because I don't want to glue on my macrame board. Now, the glue of choice for this is not Zap, not GS, but I had it here a second ago, but E6000. And I was holding on to my E6000 because I said, here's my E6000. I can't lose it because I'm going to use it in just a second. Really? I put it away. There we go. Of course, I put it away, so I wouldn't lose it. Let me get in a little tighter. We're going to use E6000 for this closure. Now, I've got this in its little clamp because I want that ultra suede to have some memory. Okay. So I'm going to look and see how far in I want, because all of these ends are going to be glued inside here. So I want them to be just slightly shorter. I don't want them to go all the way to the top here, right? So I'm going to just say that, let me line them all up like little soldiers. There we go. At least I'll get to give something a haircut, which are these closures. Do I have a big fat Sharpie? I do. Just so you can see the line here. I want to cut them about right there. So I'm going to draw across them with this ruler and this Sharpie. so you guys can see where I'm going to cut them. Can you see that there? How I made that mark? Now, again with my sharp thread scissors or whatever scissors, or your thread snips or whatever, but I'm going to come in and cut these away. Keep breathing. Breathe through it, kids. It's all right. That was more for me than for you. Now, let's open this up. I'm going to give myself a halfway point not to go beyond when I'm spreading the glue, which is going to be about, sorry, you can't see that, which is going to be about here. I don't want to spread my glue any further than about there. You can't see that because it's dark, but I can see it. Okay, so that when I hold it up against here, see, I've got a place for the glue to go. Now, less is always more with glue, okay? Resist the urge to be as heavy-handed as you want to be, right? So just trust me on this. Yeah, don't be scared. Don't be scared. The thing, and that's what Brittany's mentioning this, I'm using E6000 because it's flexible when it dries. Okay, hypo will stain the leather, will stain the ultra suede, and zap will stiffen it. Okay, so I want something that's going to not stain the leather and will be flexible. All right, so here goes. I'm going to put some E6000, just a drop of it, not a lot. Okay, and I'm going to use my toothpick, and I'm going to go up to that line, and I'm going to just kind of squeegee it on, because I don't want a whole ton of glue coming out the bottom. I also don't want that on the baggie because I don't want it on the outside of my ultra suede. So see how I squeegee that in? Now I'm going to slide this under my strands. And I'm going to press, kind of pressing everything in. You've got some working time with this E6000. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing here. I'm just making sure that everybody is living nicely. It's an even spacing. That one needs to shove over a bit there. There we go. Can you see that? How neat that looks? Okay, keep breathing. Keep breathing. I'm going to add just a touch more of E6000 over those strands. Just a little bit. Using the toothpicks that my mom bought me from the dollar store in my little toothpick container. Notice I'm not getting too close to the edge because, again, I don't want a whole ton of glue coming out the sides. Okay? So now let's fold it over. And we're just going to fold it. fold it and use the non-gluey side of the toothpick. Push it down next to those shadows. Look at there. I got that button almost in the middle. There we go. Now it'll help. I can use my little clamper to kind of help me tamp all that down. I've got a little bit, you can see how I've got a little bit of an opening there. It just wants a little more glue. Easy. I'll get my trusty toothpick, because you can always add a little more glue, right? But you can't, glue doesn't go away. Right, so let me get just a little bit more on my toothpick. Kind of open that up, slide the toothpick on in, swipe that glue down. Being really careful not to get any glue on the outside of the ultra suede. There we go. Tamp it, use those clampers. Clean. Let me put the lid on. And that's where we're going to end today. I'll let this sit overnight, 24 hours before I play around with it. Right? But look at how clean that looks. Now for the second side, okay, and you could press down, use a clean baggie like Janice is saying, and press it like that. You could do that too. Really press it in there. Right? That forced a little glue out of the side, but that's all right. But it's really, really on there. It's not going anywhere. Now, there's still, I still have, I'm still thinking about where I'm going to incorporate this here and how I'm going to do this closure on the end here. Okay, so that will be for tomorrow. We're going to do this second end, but let me show you really up close and personal how this closure looks. Right? And you can see if I turn this over on my wrist, I don't want to screw around with this too much because I really want to let it sit. But you can see I'm going to come in and I've got plenty of room to create that loop. Okay. So that's all she wrote. That's it so far. I think it's a good look. Not too shabby. These ends here on the gypsy leather, you could stitch them. Or see how I did on this one here, how I stitched a line of beads along? That also might look good here. Okay, so we'll see. Maybe a little picot, maybe stitching these guys on. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna let that sit. For the other side, I'm simply gonna do the same thing. I'll show you. I'll have it mocked up and ready to go for you guys tomorrow. But this is gonna be the same thing, but we're gonna have the loop. the loop coming out on this side here. Okay, and I'll show you how I do that. Alrighty, so that is where we are. I'm gonna take my photo for Drea. E6000. That was the thing. This was the courtesan button in brass. Though you could use a lot of different colors. You know, you make sure you do what goes for you. Let me take that photo. There we go. All right, that didn't come out too badly. That was my... Sometimes I'm surprised when it all goes right. Right? Woo! Okay, so there we go. That was, looks like someone used these for something other than fabric, these shears, but I'm going to ignore that right now and put those down. And I will share with you the loop tomorrow because I'm going to let that ruminate. Marion just said a macrame loop would look nice, and I actually tend to agree with you there. And I think maybe I can incorporate some beading into that, but we'll see what happens. I want to make sure and put this gluey toothpick right into the trash so I don't glue it to my arm, because I will definitely do that. If you know me, I'll be walking around half the day with a toothpick glued to my arm. It's amazing. Anyway, that's it. We did it. I think it's a good closure. But you can, there were so many really good suggestions for the different closures. So I want you to try what really resonates with you. But I really wanted leather on the end of this. So it was fun. It was fun to do. All right. Well, do I look a little stressed? This was a little stressful. I don't know why. But I'm okay now. I have to find my center and breathe, take a little more coffee. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Patricia, you need a Valium. Me too. Where is it? Is it already in my desk drawer? No, I'm okay. All right, you guys. Well, that was super fun. Thanks for hanging in there with me. You know, with our other live broadcasts, with our former, more... I guess formalized broadcasts, the Bead Shop Live on Wednesdays, and even with Free Tip Friday, I always had time to prepare, you know, a little bit more. So sometimes when I fly by the seat of my pants, it's fun, but I worry about you guys out there like going, okay, you know, hurry it up, Missy. So sometimes I get a little stressed about that. But I'm really glad that you guys are kind of into sharing this journey with me, because sometimes seeing how someone else might, I don't know, talk it out and stuff, I think is sometimes kind of helpful. So I hope that it was good. It was a fun project so far for you to work with. Who knew that this O Peyote project would evolve into what we're calling, I guess I'll call this one Saga. This one here, right? So, okay, woo! I did it. Well, those orders are not going to fill themselves, kids, so I better get in there. And I will see you tomorrow for the second side of this. Tomorrow is Thursday, the 30th. Right? Today is still Wednesday. We haven't moved from Wednesday, right? So we'll finish this up tomorrow. And then Friday, we will finish with another knot. There'll be another knot, creative knotting on Friday, because that'll start our Lariat week for next week. Yes, the earrings, let me show you. This is, I've been wearing my chainmail, different chainmail earrings that I've been making. This is another fun one that would be really easy and fun for you guys to start with. So I've been wearing these into the office, so I remember to put them into the queue. If you've never done chainmail or linked jump rings before, it's pretty satisfying and pretty easy. So I'll try and put those in line. I do want to say, as always, thank you for your support, your likes of this video, your shares of this video, your comments. All of that helps our video get noticed more and more. So we really appreciate it. We've seen so many of you who are new to beadshop.com come over and make orders, which really means a lot to us. Because we, as a small business, very small business here, we really appreciate your support, always. So you can stay connected in a few different ways. You can go to beadshop.com for more information on all of the products, and eventually this project will be up. This week, Karen and Drea are getting all of that week 1 of quarantine projects. Those are all going up on the website this week. So if you've stayed tuned to your newsletters, you'll see all of the projects are being released. So it has the project map, has the ingredients list, all of that. Okay, so yeah, just push that like button. It's the like button or the thumbs up button on the video, and over on Facebook it's just clicking that thumbs up or the hearts or whatever. But and plus it makes me feel super good that I know that you're liking this. Okay, so also give our newsletter a follow. We've got Janice's monthly mix. Janice did the monthly mix for May, so it is gorge. I can't wait for you guys to see it. And you can also find us over on our Facebook group called The Bead Table. Head on over there, answer some questions, and we'd love to have you join us. There's so much inspiration over there as well. All right, well, happy Wednesday, guys. Keep washing those hands, wearing those masks, distancing that social, and I will see you tomorrow, Friday, April 30th. We're going to make it through the end of April, kids, for the closure of this O Peyote Saga macrame bracelet. Thanks so much, everybody. Talk to you tomorrow.